All right, it is 7 o'clock. We will call this meeting to order. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we've got the approval of the memorandum of the October 21st, 2019 regular meeting. A copy has been posted. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I think I heard Vice President Traylor first.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that. If you'd been here a minute later, I would have heard you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? The memorandum of the October 21st, 2019 regular town council meeting is approved by a vote of 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Next, we've got departmental monthly reports. Reports are submitted by the town management staff for council review and posted on the town website. Any questions?
I have one. Mr. Lance? Just wanting a little clarification because there's just some conflicting information based on your report versus some of the information I'm seeing and hearing out in the public. Can you give an update on the Zionsville Road project?
Yes, the Zionsville Road project, the goal at this point is to have that open and the detour removed in December. Open to traffic does not necessarily equate to complete in this instance, so our goal is to get the basic roadway built and then in the spring follow up with surfacing and line striping. So we want to get it to a 99% constructed condition for when winter hits, open it up to traffic, and then complete it in the spring.
All right. Thank you. That's all I have.
Any other questions, council? Nope. All right. Next, we've got a swearing in of a new police officer. Chief Knox, Mayor Huck. No pressure, Joe. We're all watching you.
You may be able to get arrested over this. What this? Yeah.
Turn mine around.
Hey, building's new.
There we
I'm
go.
gonna make this work.
It'll work.
There you go, Chief.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
good.
All right, thank you, Mr. President, Town Council. I ask that Mayor Hawk join me at the front of the room, along with, I want to introduce to you our newest Zionsville police officer, Mr. Dakota J. Foote. Dakota comes to us after 6 years of service to the Jasper City Police Department in Indiana. So, Mr. Foote, Officer Foote, if you would join the mayor up front, and I would ask that his wife, Christy, come up, stand beside your husband, and prepare to pin on the badge.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Dakota Foote,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and statutes of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution and statutes of the State of Indiana,
and the ordinances of the Town of Zionsville.
and the ordinances of the Town of Zionsville.
I further swear that I will faithfully and impartially
I further swear that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of police officer
discharge the duties of police officer
for the Town of Zionsville, Indiana,
for the Town of Zionsville, Indiana,
according to the best of my skills and abilities,
according to the best of my skills and abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All good?
Thank you.
Congrats, Officer Put, and if your family does not want to stick around through the rest of this meeting, you are welcome to sneak out the back door. No one will think other of you. Amy, any requests to speak?
There were no requests to speak.
Very good. On to old business. We have one item. It is a consideration of the 2020 salary ordinance for the town of Zionsville. This is a second reading and vote. This is ordinance number 2019-23. Deputy Mayor Mitro.
Thank you. Just to refresh your memory, at the last meeting, you did introduce this on first reading after adopting the 2020 budget for the town of Zionsville. This follows instead with the salaries for the various staff positions. Again, this is an exact duplicate of that budget. As we talked last time, good news is that insurance costs have not gone up. Our insurance for 2020 is the same cost, which is remarkable in this day and age. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Also, staff is here if you have any questions of them.
Councilors, any questions? I know we've talked about this before. If not, I'll take a motion on this.
Move approval.
Second.
First from Councilor Suarez, second from Councilor Plunkett. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ordinance number 2019-23 is adopted by a vote of 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Moving on to new business, we've got a consideration of an ordinance to vacate a portion of a platted alley, the Gorgievsky petition. This is a first reading and a public hearing. This is ordinance number 2019-24. Deputy Mayor Mitro, back to you.
Thank you. As we have done in the past, this is in the village. It is another platted but never constructed alley. This is a north-south alley between 4th and 5th Streets on Cedar Street. There are two century-old houses on either side of it. The petitioner, Mr. Gorgievsky, would like to vacate that. Notices were sent, also a newspaper notice for this hearing, this particular petition. He has sent the appropriate certified letters to his surrounding property owners. Staff has no objection to this. Mr. Gorgievsky is here if you have any questions of him. It is a 10-foot alley, so obviously he gets 5 feet of the alley, and his neighbor to the east, who wanted to make sure she got the 5 feet, gets hers as well.
Questions?
Is there a plan for what they want to do with this land?
I don't know, but I think if you want to ask Mr. Gorgievsky, where did he go? He ran away.
Oh. If you, well,
Fence?
Fence.
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 Sorry. For the record, fence.
that's,
Thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you.
yeah.
And thank you.
This is a public hearing, and I've got proof of publication here. I'll open the public hearing if anyone from the public wants to come comment on this matter. Wait, I think that closed it. I'll open it. All right, now I'll close the public hearing. Any other comments or take a motion?
So moved.
Got a first from Councilor Hopper. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So what I would like to do is make a motion to suspend the rules, because if not, this will go on old business and will be the only agenda item for the next morning meeting. And given the benign nature here,
Yep.
do I have a second on that?
Second.
I heard Vice President Trailer because he's closer again. All in favor of suspending the rules?
Aye.
All opposed? And then I'll make a motion to approve on final reading.
Second.
Second from Councilor Hopper. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye. Sorry, I meant aye.
Yep, got you on aye.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2019-24 is approved on first and final reading with a vote of 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Heather, anything I got to do differently there?
No, but since you all moved so quickly, which we appreciate, could you just remind me who voted, who made the motion to suspend the rules,
I did.
and then who seconded?
Vice President Trailer.
Thank you.
Yep. Very good. Next up, we've got a consideration of an ordinance to rezone approximately 1.5 acres from the rural PB professional business zoning district to the rural GB general business classification. This is a second reading and vote. This is ordinance number 2019-25. Mr. DeLong, you appear to be approaching the podium.
Thank you. Good evening. As indicated, the petition that's in front of you is a recommendation from your Plan Commission, favorable recommendation for rezoning of 1.5 acres to the PB classification. The petitioner is here this evening to speak to the merits of the request if you're so inclined to hear additional information.
Any questions for Mr. DeLong or Mr. Price, who is here on behalf of the petitioner?
And just to clarify, that's PB to the GB classification. I spoke a little too fast.
Yes.
So is there a plan for this?
Mr. Price, you want to?
Yes, good evening. For the record, Matt Price, here on behalf of Harris FLP this evening. Yeah, this is the acreage at the southeast corner of 146th Street and Michigan Road, and a lot of activity relating to the property today. This particular rezoning is in connection with a proposed 21st Amendment liquor store, which we have under contract right now. We intend, should this be approved, to go forward with a development plan approval later this winter and into the spring, and then intend to break ground really with the breaking of the weather after this coming winter.
So is this part of the larger development that is planned for that spot then?
It is. This is one of the 13 outlots. It's the not the most southern one, but the third from being the most southern one off of Michigan Road, just south of the main, what will be our main entrance. And then in connection with that, we have a daycare center, a fueling and convenience store use, which was approved back in, I think, 2016, and then some other related shops that are also going to be part of this initial phase of the project.
Has the developer reached out to the community there and to see what their input is to having a liquor store right next to a child care? I know that was a big deal out west of town.
Sounds convenient to me.
As a parent,
Exactly.
there were people that were really against it.
No, it's a fair question. We have. One thing to note is that the development as originally zoned back in 2008, it contemplated having a liquor store, but it had kind of a condition imposed upon it, which was that it needed to have a minimum of 75% inventory in wine. And so the relief we're seeking tonight is to both rezone the parcel to GB to allow a liquor store, and then also to eliminate that 75% inventory requirement. But to your point, as part of that, we have been in contact with community members really on the east and south, all around the vicinity, on not just that topic, but a variety of topics, including the next matter that's on your agenda, to assure that the development is carried out in a way that is cognizant of their concerns. We had no remonstrance before the Plan Commission, and really feel like we had a long discussion after the public hearing with several neighborhood members to kind of lay a groundwork for how we were going to continue in communication going forward. And I think there was general acceptance and a feeling of goodwill about the steps that Mr. Harris had undertaken up to this point to get the project to where it is today.
So this and the next are almost tied together.
They are. They're a series. I provide just a little bit of background. This was originally approved in 2008 as more of a, what I would call kind of more of a power center type model, where the development was to be anchored by a very large grocery store. And what has evolved as the market conditions have changed and as retail tastes have changed is to what we're thinking of as more of a neighborhood commercial type use. And so we have sought a little more flexibility with regard to the use of the outlots, and some more flexibility with regard to the uses of the main area of the property east of those outlots to permit things like single-family housing that could be used for a senior community, which we've had some interest expressed in. And the idea is that we could integrate these shops that are along 146th Street and Michigan Road into more of a neighborhood commercial type feel, probably still have some medical office and things of that nature too that'll be consistent with that theme. But my sense is that that's been very well received by the neighbors, that kind of evolution, kind of a combination of providing some buffering between the land uses as well as providing some needed retail outlets for folks that live and travel in the area.
So Carver's pulled their name out of the hat.
They have. They stuck with us for a long time, and then when, as we all know, when things changed dramatically with the outcome for Marsh, that changed a lot of people's thinking. And frankly, it opened up some opportunities for Mr. Harris that maybe we hadn't been focusing on before, which are starting to come to fruition today.
Well, and I can certainly say yes. I'm in one of these neighborhoods, and I know that you both have come to speak to the neighborhood meetings several times, so I can attest to the fact that they've been well received.
The Planning Commission vote was 6-1, correct, in favor?
6-1 in favor, that's
Yep.
correct.
Any other questions for Mr. Price or for Mr. DeLong? Take a motion.
Move approval.
Got a first from Councilor Suarez.
Second.
Second from Vice President Trailer. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to adopt on final reading is approved, 6 in favor, 0 opposed. That was ordinance number 2019-24. Next, we've had a consideration of modification of the commitments tied to Boone County Ordinance number 2008-13. What's that? 2019-25, yes, thank you. Mr. Price sort of touched on this, but Mr. DeLong, do you want to sort of give a little more detail on what this piece is?
Certainly, the petition that's in front of you this evening is another request that's been forwarded to you, a favorable recommendation from your Plan Commission. This petition is the third or the fourth time that you've seen a modification of commitments petition for your consideration. This is exclusively and limited in chance that this happens because the petition originally was approved by the Boone County Commissioners. That results in your office having continuing jurisdiction over the commitments that are in front of you this evening. The modifications themselves are primarily designed to adapt and move the project forward, again, as Mr. Price indicated, from a power center type of methodology to more of a neighborhood mixed-use type facility where the commitments are being modified as approved by or as recommendation approval by your Plan Commission to allow for single-family residential, to allow for additional curb cuts, to allow for more flexibility with signage, to allow for more outlots, more to let the market dictate the project rather than a 2008 approval that was way far out in the scope of thinking about this particular corner. Again, Mr. Price is here to speak to the merits of the request that's in front of you this evening.
Questions here from Mr. DeLong or Mr. Price?
This was also passed the Plan Commission with a vote of 6-1.
Favorable recommendation, yes.
And it just really clarifies and brings up to speed, up to date, all the different things that we've already approved, but just making them a little bit more current. Is that
It changes the alcohol requirement is my
Restriction.
understanding, yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
there's more curb cuts.
So we don't have to have a wine store out there, we can have a real liquor store.
Well, they're
And
clearly.
being that this will be the closest store to my house, I'm in favor.
Well, the fact that you can get gas while you're getting it.
Right.
is a good thing. I appreciate that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a first from Vice President Trailer. A very happy Vice President Trailer. Is that you, Councilor Hopper?
Can I get
No, that was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry,
But a
Councilor
very
Suarez.
happy Councilor Suarez.
Yeah,
Because
all
I'm
right.
right down the street from him.
2 happy councilors looking for this to open. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Modifications to Boone County Ordinance number 2008-13 are approved by a vote of 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Any other matters from any other councilors? All right, we've got claims. I'll make a motion to approve claims.
Second.
Second from Councilor Plunkett. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Claims are approved, 6 in favor, 0 opposed. I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, Vice President Trailer. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned by a vote of 6 in favor, 0 opposed. Next regular town council meeting is scheduled for Monday,